All right.
And I might look at it real quick to see if it looks okay. Can you see the screen? Not my elbow or shoulder?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to work these in Excel because that's how you're all going to do them. I haven't heard anyone say they're going to do it by paper. So we'll just take each one. So we'll start with this very first one. Musk is going to buy a rocket. So the first thing you have to do in this first question is figure out is this a present value or future value. It might give you a present value, it might give you a future value. Keywords to look for, if it says payments, then it's probably a loan, right? A present value because he's paying off a loan. If it says investments, it's probably a future value because he's investing for the future. All right? So let's bring all this in to Excel. So you got two questions here. The second one you're actually going to do as a table. So he's going to buy a rocket for $250. He's going to pay back the loan. So I just made it really blatantly obvious this is a present value problem. Over 15 years, and it's weekly. All right, so you got to figure out the rate and the time. So what is the rate here? He's going to pay the bank $6.24, but it's weekly. So how do you calculate the rate? So you take the rate, 0.0624. Make sure you type everything as decimals. I've seen some of y'all type 6.24%. You can do that if you like, but I think it's safer to type 0.0624. And then what do we divide by? Because it's weekly. So divide by 52, and that gives you that weekly rate. Right? And then what is the time? Well, he's going to invest. He's going to pay off the loan weekly over 15 years. So what is my time? 15 years times 52. Right? So the rate, you take the interest rate divided by, if it's monthly, divide by 12. If it's weekly, divide by 52. So that's going to be your rate, and your time will be the number of years times 52 or 12, depending on if it's weekly or not. So what we got to do is go find that in the problem. So if you go back to the problem, you don't. In the problem, I have some students that think they have to memorize that PVIFA or FVFIFA formula. You don't. I give you this table. This is exactly like it's on the exam. So which table are we looking, which column are we looking for? Yeah, they're right there, and then are we doing present value, future value? It's present value, so we're going to pick that number there, 506.3220. And that becomes our present value interest factor of an annuity. And then what is the present value? The loan amount. So he's going to borrow $250,000. So that becomes our loan amount. And then it's just a matter of setting up the columns. So y'all gotten really good at the columns, right? Hopefully when you do the homework, you set that up each time so you got some practice. But tell me real quick, what's the first column? Time. Beginning balance. Interest expense, if it's a loan. If it's an investment, it's interest income. What's the next one? Payment or investment. If it's a loan, it's a payment. And then
End balance.
ending balance, okay. So we're going to start off in week 1. How many weeks do we need? So you take week 1 plus 1, right? So take week 1 plus 1, and how many weeks do we need to go down? Well, 780 times, so go down. Just look at the rows, and you can see about where 780 is. And then remember to do control down button, control up. Y'all remember how to do that? I'm taking off 87% of your final grade if I see doing the mouse like that. So use the control keys to get up and down, it's a lot faster. All right, what's this beginning balance? So this is a loan. If it were an investment, what would the beginning balance be? If he's saving for $250,000, what would be the beginning balance? Zero. If he's borrowing money, what's his beginning balance? It's $250,000, all right? I do see that mistake on exams. Students are doing a loan problem, they start with zero, or they're doing an investment problem, they start with 250, and they get all mixed up, so make sure you're clear on that. Now your interest expense, whatever rate you came up with, that's what you're going to multiply that beginning balance by. So 250 times that 0.0012. Make sure you lock it in. If you have an Apple, figure out how to lock it in. You can just type the dollar signs before the C and the 4. Lock it in. And then the payment is going to be the 250 divided by the present value interest factor annuity. If you're borrowing money, then your payment is the loan amount divided by the factor. If you're investing, it's going to be your target portfolio, what you're saving for, divided by the future value factor. All right, so you're always going to take that number and divide it by whatever the factor is. All right. Now the ending value, if you're investing, you just add all three of them together because it's all your money. But when you're borrowing money, you say, I owe the bank $250. I also owe them $300, but minus the payment I made. All right, so if you're investing, you add them all together. If you're paying off a loan, it's plus the first two and minus the last one. Now the next line, you begin with your beginning balance. Your interest expense, you can copy that down as long as you locked it in. It's that beginning balance times that rate. Your payment, you can just reference that payment because it's a fixed payment. That's what an amortizing loan is all about. And then you can just copy down the formula. And then what can you do? You highlight those 4 cells. Don't highlight all 5 of them. You know how Bill Gates is. If you highlight all of them, he won't let you copy down. You have to highlight what you want copied down. And you copy that down. And then before you go to the next problem, what do you do? Control down, and it should equal what? A couple of pennies, right? Because we're rounding here. Because this 506.332 is a rounded number.
Sorry, for the interest expense for the second row.
You just copy that down. So it's always the beginning balance times 0.0012. You have to have those dollar signs so when you copy it down, it works. All right, so look back at the questions. First question is calculate the weekly payments. There it is right there in your schedule, the 493.76. And then create the amortization schedule, and that's what we just did there. The nice thing about this problem is you'll know you did it right or not, because you'll see at the end. If you're investing, what if he was saving for $250? Then your last number would be $250,000. If he's borrowing $250, then your last number is 0. So just be careful of that. That's the only tricky thing here, and I don't have any tricky problems on this one at all. Not like your homework was more difficult than this problem there. This is straightforward stuff. I'm not going to throw any curves.
It should be close to 0, it should be like equal to 0.
Well, the one rounding that I have is this 506.332. If I didn't round that, I had the actual formula, it would be exactly 0.
Oh, okay.
But because you're pulling the number from here,
Yeah.
there's a lot more numbers out there.
Oh, we done one. Okay.
Even when you have all the decimals, it may still be slightly off. All right, everybody's good with question 1? All right.